Right, so today we're playing No Retreat.
No Retreat.
We've got American Glider Infantry.
Yep, the good old 101.
And what have you got on your list, Brian?
Well, on the table at the moment, forward objective has been supported by some engineers, supported by the 2IC. So they are really good, lots of machinery on them, really great added tanks, so I'll come ahead and have a go. Behind the hill I've got some very large 155s, first time I've used these, so it's great to see these play on the battlefield. The second objective is supported by my larger glider rifle company, so it's been bazookaed up as well and some extra machine gun support. And in reserve I have an anti-tank team with bazookas and jeeps.
An ambush.
An ambush.
Yeah, that's 3
So I've got
57 mils.
Correct, yes. So I've got 4 on, 4 off as a different.
And what have you got off?
Off at the moment I have got a second platoon of rifles. I've got a mortar platoon, I've got a machine gun platoon, and I've got my tanks. So my tanks comprise of 2 76mm supported by a jumbo, and the whole army is then observed by an EOP to support both the artillery and any ambushes you may have.
And what is your most interesting unit for you today?
I suppose trying out the big 155 to see if these can do a lot of damage. I've had the 105s before and I quite like those, but I'm going to try the big boys today and see what they can do.
Right, thank you, Brian. So attacking Brian today, I'm using an SS Panzer Grenadier a company from Nuts, the same book as this list is drawn from. It's got 2 platoons of fearless trained Panzer Grenadier, Panzerfaust machine gun platoons, and they're backed up by 3 Panzer 470Vs, 3 Pak 40s, a battery of reluctant trained 152mm guns, and then over here we've got 2 Sturm Tigers and 2 Stugs. So all in all it's 8 platoons. So we'll come back at the end of turn 1 to see if anything. Okay, end of turn 1 it's a general advance for the Germans. The Panzer 470s moved up, backed up by the static Pak 40s. The infantry are moving up carefully because they're only trained. Some of them are in covering buildings, some in shell craters. The armour cars managed through a recon move, ordinary move, followed by a stormtrooper move to get up in a good position to push back ambushes. The Sturm Tigers double timed to get in a good position. If their flanks are safe, they'll be safe. The Stugs edged up with them as close support. And as far as shooting goes, there wasn't much happening. The artillery managed to range in on one of the American guns on the third attempt, didn't hit it, but it's ranged in there. So that's it for this turn. Over to Brian.
This is the end of the American first turn. So I rolled for reserves first of all and brought on my mortar platoon, and the idea behind that is I want to start laying smoke down as soon as I can for this. I decided to take the gamble, although it was ranged in from his artillery, there was 2 nicer target up here with these Stugs and Sturm Tigers to go for, so I decided to use artillery here. I managed to hit or range in the first attempt, but then subsequently didn't do any damage. So I've ranged in but no damage on his tanks heading towards me, although I do have now an ALP at the back of the table as well with my army that's going to start picking off some potential targets for me to hit next turn. But at the moment I had a gamble, it didn't really pay off, but I'm ready, still dug in, ready to take on.
German turn 2, general advance again. The infantry try to stay in the wheat fields to stay out of sight. The armoured cars are continuing to push up, try and roll back ambushes in the main. The Sturm Tigers stayed still to shoot. Stugs moved up around them, and as far as shooting goes, the Sturm Tigers managed to skill check one of the guns away, killed the gun. The artillery tried to kill the staff team because they didn't have much else in the way of targets. It got ranged in but didn't hit. The Stugs had to go to observer, didn't do anything. The Panzer 470s can keep moving up and had a couple of pot shots at the dug-in platoon, didn't do anything. And then everybody really made the stormtrooper move, so it's keeping on moving. And now over to the Germans.
Right,
sorry.
so this is the US turn 2, so I rolled for reserves. I managed to get my second rifle platoon on, so they started to come on from the table edge. Unfortunately, I was unable to pin or unpin the artillery, so they couldn't bombard this turn and out of range for direct fire, so it limited what they could do. But what I did manage to do was use the mortars to drop smoke onto the observer, the recon team. It blew this way. Frank tried to change the wind direction but didn't manage to, so luckily it's also then obscuring some of the direct fire routes for his tanks as well. So this turn really just dropping smoke down to limit the effectiveness of his recon and some of his direct fire shooting. Hopefully next turn I can start using my artillery again.
So end of German turn 3, the only really significant thing I think happened is another gun succumbing to a Sturmtiger. The artillery tried to, didn't even actually range in, tried to get these guys when they came up and missed. There was a fair wee bit of shooting from MG teams into the little corner of that platoon. The Panzer 470s fired and didn't do anything either. Managed to get a few hits. So over here the Stugs had a go at this platoon, didn't manage to get anything. The armour cars moved up a little bit again to be in a position to lift onto ground, push back ambushes, and the Sturm Tigers managed to stormtrooper a bit further up, and they're starting to take pot shots at the mortars at the back. Otherwise that's it, and still not a hell of a lot happened yet. Oh, and just as a matter of interest, the second in command's on a mission. We'll see what trouble we can get.
This is the end of the American turn 3, so again for the reserves I managed to get all the remaining reserves on. So I've brought my tanks on first of all from reserve and started to sneak up to try and have a go at his recce team. Unfortunately didn't manage to kill him, annoyingly. I've brought the machine gun platoon up and they're going to move up the hill to give field of fire across to these attacking infantry. I've double timed my second rifle platoon here up to try and support this objective up here. In terms of shooting, I have a go at the observer. Didn't do anything, the recce team, but I did again manage to smoke successfully his big guns at this side of the table, so not looking too clever. And then I used the ambush, thought that my guns would have a go at his infantry. Only managed to kill one base, but I've now pinned them all, and two bazookas at his tank. Again, managed to hit but didn't do any damage. So I'm now everything on the table, everything deployed, and
at the start of German turn 4, the main focus was this ambush. The infantry tried to dig in the face of it but failed. I just kept them going to ground because they're only trained. The infantry in another field, they dug in at this point with the tanks coming up. It might be madness to run forward. The Stugs stayed going to ground because there's potential for these Panzer 4 Shermans to kill them quite easy. Sturm Tigers are still moving up. They're close enough so that they can still skill check through the smoke to kill gun teams. So they're still doing okay. The artillery failed to range in again on these guys. These also shot at the ambush, at the back 40s, didn't do much. Second in command, he's on his remission, he's going to get himself killed, but he's advancing. He does have a Panzer fight, so you never know. And that's it for the German turn 4.
Right, so this is American turn 4. Tried to assault first of all his tanks, failed miserably as you can see. There's only one poor chap left there, but I thought I'd have to have a go. I opened up again on his platoon here and took out one base only, so shooting and assaulting from this particular edge has been pretty poor. I've now got my machine guns up in the top of the hill. I've had a shot as well, managed to take out one base, but they're now ready to start unleashing a lot of fire. Across on this side, again I've tried an artillery to have a go at the tanks, managed to range in but no damage created, so unless he moves I've now started a target. I've moved my tanks up onto the road, again had pot shots at his tanks, hit but no damage, so a pretty disastrous turn for the Americans. They are now starting to look like a bit of an issue for them now.
Right, it's German turn 5. This turn saw the end of the anti-tank gun platoon. The German infantry had to back off. Those machine guns on the hill will kill them. these tanks that moved up, I managed to hit 2 and kill 1 with artillery. The Stugs fired and missed, as did the Sturm Tigers. The Amicars managed to kill a mortar. Apart from that, pretty much static, sat there and shot. Oh, second in command, he got right up there in a position where he could assault. No Shermans, got hit twice, failed one of the saves on the way in, so he died. Otherwise he would have had some fun with a Panzerfaust. But apart from that, the Germans are starting to cause casualties, but they're no closer to taking an objective. So it's looking grim for the Germans.
The end of the American turn 5, really it's about consolidation here. Tried to dig in, the machine guns didn't, but they've gone to the ground because they haven't fired. Tried to dig in the rifle company that moved up, but didn't, so they've gone to ground now as well. Moved my Shermans back in behind the hill. They moved it a bit further because of Detroit's finest. They managed to get in just out of line of sight for these big guns. Did try again artillery bombardment, managed to hit and range in on the third attempt on the Sturm Tiger, which meant that the saves allowed them to negate my hits. Mortar onto his infantry, didn't take any casualty, but his platoon's now pinned down. And I've tried to get my observer into the church but failed, so he's just knocking on the door desperate to try to get in out of the gunfire. But really just digging in now and seeing that the Germans have got to come on now to try and take those objectives now when we move to turn 6.
Well, the German turn 6 was very, very quick because there's not too much to shoot at. The Sturm Tiger fired at mortars and MG teams and missed. Got on the ground, was lifted off these guys, stood fired and missed. The Panzer 470Vs shot up on the hill, fired and missed. And the artillery ranged in on the hill. Got one hit on an MG team, but nothing else, but they maybe do some damage going forward. And actually I think I've still got a bit of stormtrooping to do, but that'll be the Germans' turn.
Very quick turn for the Americans on turn 6. Again, tried to take out his recon platoon. Managed to hit it once with mortars, but just bailed it out. Fired the artillery onto his Sturm Tiger. I hit it, because I'm down to 2 into re-rolls, successful hits, and ended up only hitting one infantry base, which he saved his saves on. So shooting very quick, everyone else is trying to dig in, go on the ground, waiting for the German attack as we're now on turn 6. So quick turn over to the Germans for turn 7.
German turn 7, these guys have started to move up. The Sturm Tigers fired and support managed to kill a mortar base and a heavy machine gun base. The artillery managed to hit here but did nothing. There was actually a great deal of shots fired, but I didn't roll above a 4, I think, for most of them. The guns are moving up just to put some more shots into this defending platoon, but I need to do something about those guys there before I can move these guys up, or they'll just get killed. So it was a quick turn for the Germans. We'll see what pressure they can put on this flank just now.
So American turn 7 managed to repel some of the infantry coming in with a number of machine gun shots, which has pushed his infantry back into the field.
They're actually due a motivation test, by the way. They're staying.
Lucky Germans.
Not really, they're dead.
And then used a mixture of bazooka and artillery on his recon, but being the usual dice roll I am, only managed to bail out both his recon vehicles at the moment. I'm ranged in still on his Sturm Tiger, but at the moment just managed to push back slightly, it's still well dug in.
Right, so I think this is German turn 8, and they had a chance to kill another platoon, didn't really work. They nearly got these guys. If I'd have been paying attention, I would have moved these guys, the tank killers, up into range and had a go, but it wouldn't have made any difference to the game because there's no way I'm taking an objective. So I think just really, like is always the case with this list, it's just too fragile being trained with 2 platoons of infantry. It can't attack, it can defend, it can hold on for a bit in defence, but that's about it. And as far as these go, well, the Sturm Tigers did well against gun teams. They managed to win the artillery duel against the heavy guns, but the infantry just, as soon as they moved, they got shot and they got killed. So it's going to go down to a 5-2 to the Yanks.
So in that last turn, because I'd moved 3 stands, these dreaded Stoom Tigers took out 2 of my bazookas, which was really annoying.
With machine guns on.
But Stoom Tigers are a nightmare. There was 155s I really look forward to using, and to be honest I've done nothing all game. They quickly got whittled down to 2. They kept hitting things but not doing any damage, so probably the most disappointing unit is the 155s. The big problem I've got, I think, in any time I put artillery on the table, he's keeping out of line of sight. Such a big unit to try and disperse and keep out of line of sight is a bit of a worry for myself, something to learn on. I used tanks in this particular list for the first time. One's dead, one's bailed. I probably struggled to understand where I could put my tanks, again out of these dreaded Stoom Tigers. If it wasn't for them, I think I might have had more confidence in this battle, but I've dug in well. I'm happy my infantry can dig in and take a lot of beating to try and shift them. It's just some of the supporting units I need to use a bit more effectively, but all in all, I managed to hold on in the face of an onslaught, but there's some big guns in here, which is I think it's a good list, but well done.